Shalom, Israel.
Shalom.
Welcome again to another live stream here at S.O.W, the Houston branch. We got a good class for y'all. We do have reminders, brothers. Make sure you get your Passover money in so the garments can be worked on. Sisters are trying to get garments set up. Passover is going to be May 2nd.
Yep.
May 2nd. So if you haven't marked the calendar yet, mark your calendar. If you're online and you'd like to join us for the Passover, please make sure you RSVP so we can have a good accurate head count so we know how many people we need to feed. So it's very important.
Yeah, don't try to pull up talking about where my chair at.
Right.
You ain't RSVP. I mean, we're not gonna not have a chair for you, but hey, it's just courtesy, right? The location pricing is based on the amount of people we tell them that we're gonna have. So I want to be as accurate with some true numbers, and then also plan for like people that are just gonna pull up.
That's gonna happen.
You always got to plan for just cats just pulling up and not RSVP, and they may not have gotten it and different things like that.
Or they might just be a family member
That too.
that
Last minute.
they're hearing about the truth and they're like, okay, well, I want to try this and see what this is about.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's fine. But for those of you who know and can, go ahead and get that RSVP in.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
Please get that in. Get it in. Get it in. What else?
Any donations, funds, all the information is in the description link. Shout out to all the brothers and sisters that are spreading the truth across the world, across the earth, the four corners of the earth, and loving and working this work in sincerity and truth. Bahashem Yahushai.
Yeah. Also, we definitely need some donations for the Passover location, lamb. So, it's what we do every year. We ask every family if they could do the standard $250. When taxes hit and all those good things, right? You'll get that in. So just remember, when you get your taxes, or if you already got it, keep the schools in mind. And this is obviously for your respective location. If you would get it to the brothers at your respective location, and then we would, we would figure it out. But yeah, $250 in per family, so we can get the location, get the lamb, make sure we feed everybody, have a joyous time. Shalom to everybody in the chat. Chat lives do matter. There should be a lot more chat because we got a lot of sick kids, so, right? A couple of people stood home, take care of the wee little ones. Hey, it's that time of the year. It's spreading. The ick is spreading. It's hitting my house hard, right? We got some strep throat cases. We got some mono cases. So, it's easy. Keep your hands washed. Try not to have the kids congregate with one another so much. Don't share cups and all those different things, and try to keep things as cleanly as possible. I mean, it's just the ick time. It's ick season. So, and then parents that are taking care of kids, hey, what you're patient zero. So you gotta keep your immunity up. Get your rest. Get the kids some rest. They need sleep. Right now, my kids be trying to stay up even though they sick. I'm like, bro, you're not in full Israelite mode yet. Take your ass to bed. Take your ass to sleep. They be trying to stay up and kick it. It's like, nah, you need rest. So, everybody good though? Everybody good? Okay. Y'all see the title of the class, the litmus test of character. Shalom, chat. Shalom, chat. Chat lives matter. Right? That's the title of the class today. the litmus test of character. And so, you know, nothing too deep, nothing too crazy. I feel like this is a good class for everybody, and I'm talking about on all levels. Not just a leader, not just a soldier, officer, but I'm talking about like even kids, right? And really what I want to go into, or what the class is going to be based on. Somebody get me Luke 16 and 10. And you don't have to write this down yet. I just want to show you guys, as we're going through this, what we're going to be leading up to. Read Luke 16 and verse 10.
Luke chapter 16, verse 10.
Uh-huh.
He that is faithful in that which is least
Go ahead.
is faithful also in much.
Go ahead.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
Yeah, so what I want to talk about is developing character in those little things. Like, sometimes we overlook the little things, the small details, and we figure like, that's really nothing in the balance of things. But the truth be told, the little things, that's what actually tips the balance, right? It's little things that we do that literally shows people who you are, whether it be work ethic, whether it be at the school, whether it be around the brothers, right? Whether it be at the mall, whether it be at your own job. The way you observe the small things as well as the big things, it's going to develop your character. You're my player, right? You're my player. You're 2K my player, right? Your spiritual my player. He's going to develop. She's going to develop. But what are they developed off of, right? So because I don't want to talk a lot. I don't want to talk too much. First point. You got this? Yeah, you do. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's there. Go to your text. The principles of consistency, or the principle of consistency, right? And so this is going to be the point. The principle of consistency, and then I'm going to have a sub point. I'm going to have a few sub points within this. But the principle of consistency is the point. And then right underneath it, you can write down the illusion of circumstance. The illusion of circumstance. And why do I want to talk about circumstance? Well, because I say this a lot. And I've been saying this for the past couple of years, that you're going to be what you are no matter where you're at. Right?
Yeah.
You're going to be who you are and what you are no matter where you are. Once you develop a certain level of consistency. So going back to the scripture in Luke, if I'm consistent in overlooking little things, it doesn't matter what circumstance I'm in. I'm just that person that doesn't see details. I miss the details in things, right? I miss the little things. And then if I'm the type of person that it takes big things for me to make, or if I feel like, I gotta wait for this big thing to happen, then I'll change. Then guess what? You'll always be waiting for that big thing to change. So the illusion of circumstance is that I'm waiting for my break to do better. It's like a good example is like one of my pet peeves is being late. I don't like being late for nothing.
No.
I used to be notice how I said used to be. I used to be the brother that, hey, I'll be there in 5 minutes. Right?
Yeah.
When brothers would pick me up, I'll be ready at this time. And then guess what? Brothers will pull up, I'm already outside the door. They wasn't waiting for me to grab my cup, fill up my water, pack my lunch. Damn, I can't find my shoe. Like, no, I was on time. Right? I was on time. And it was for everything. It wasn't just for the mall. It was for the mall. It was for the class. I don't care if we was about to just go, just hit the bar and drink a little bit or just kick it. hey, pick me up at this time. Cool. And brothers knew to be there on time because then I would be the critic. I was able to be the critic, right? Why you late? Why you late? What happened? Oh, I thought you said you was going to be here at this time or at that time. So that's a small thing in a lot of people's balance, timing and being on time, right? And so most people think like, well, you know, it's just class. It's just school. I'll be on time when I get a job. But will you? Once you develop a consistency of being late or having to rush, does the circumstance change who you are? Or does the circumstance begin to not matter? It begins to not matter, right?
Okay.
So watch this. Watch this real quick. Because being late is something small. Who has a problem with being on time to places? Question mark. Do you have a, I'm putting a question in the chat. Do you have a problem with being on time to places? All you gotta do is hit yes or no to that question that I put in the chat. It's a question. Do you have a problem being on time to places? You can hit yeah or no, right? But once I develop my character into being late constantly, it doesn't matter what circumstance I'm in, right? I'm gonna always be late. And then you tend to lose out on the big moment. We wonder why we don't get big moments, why we don't get our break. Man, how come I can't get a win? Well, because your development doesn't call for it. Watch, let's go to Ecclesiastes 2. 2 and 2, then jump to 4. Ecclesiastes 2, we all know it, very, very common scripture we go to, right? Usually we go to 1 and down, but I'm making a point here, so I am going to skip verses for my point. Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes chapter 2, verse 2.
Papa, go ahead.
Set thy heart aright,
Go ahead.
and constantly endure,
Go ahead.
and make not haste in time of trouble.
Go ahead.
Cleave unto him.
What verse you at?
Verse 3.
Jump down to verse 4.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
Whatsoever is brought upon thee,
Right.
take cheerfully,
Go ahead.
and be patient when thou art changed to a low estate.
Right. And be patient when you're changed to a lower state. So why am I going here? Well, because I'm trying to get you to see that consistency is not determined on circumstance. You got to learn. You got to put yourself, you're not going to always be in a good situation and then cleave, right? You're not going to always be cheerful when it's bad, but the Bible reminds us, wait a minute, how does my mind have to be set up in the little things? It's something so small to whatsoever is brought on you to take cheerfully. Mm-hmm. That's a small, like, what does it matter if I'm angry all the time? What does it matter if I'm going through something? I have every right to not be cheerful. You're right. You have every right. But what does that do for your development going forward? What does that do for your character? And when I say your character, I'm talking about that spiritual character that we're building, right? We all come in here and your character is at like a 65. He just can't shoot jump shots, can't make no layups, he can't dribble. He always gets scrimmage. Anybody in here ever play 2K? The NBA 2K, the basketball game? Right, y'all online, y'all play any type of video game where you gotta develop your character? Yeah. I like 2K, the basketball one, because your my player was trash. It was garbage. And you had to put in a lot of work on, and guess what they had you doing? Basic drills, layups, jump shots. Remember that? The layup drills, the jump shot drills. Basic things to develop your character into this superstar. And then it started getting better where they used to have press conferences, and like the way you answered at the press conference would determine what type of star you would be.
Did
If
your
he
players
was-
get old?
Oh, yes, everything. I mean, now, yes, it's like a real life.
I remember that on Fight Night, the boxing game,
Okay.
and I get my boxer up, and then he's getting older, and then it's like certain workouts you do decreases other things and barely increases the
So
thing
you, have
it's
to,
supposed
so you have to like get him up quick before he just hit his peak and taper down.
Yeah,
Hilarious.
because it's like hard to keep his stats up.
Yeah,
Get knocked out easy.
yeah, yeah. But the Bible is showing us something. It says cleave in these times, right? When thou art brought to a low estate. So there's going to be different estates that we're brought into. But we shouldn't wait to be brought into a certain estate to be a certain way. Like, do we only cleave to the Most High when it's bad?
Law.
No. We should be cleaving at all times. Do we only be cheerful in a low estate? No, we should be cheerful at all times, as much as possible, right? Not that we are going to have bad times and hard times and be going through our tribulations, but it says that we're supposed to joy in our tribulations. Some of us, we take the tribulations and we really turn it into this anguish. And again, what I'm trying to get to is the way you posture your mind towards what it is you have to do in the little things is going to show you who you are when you do get the big things. I always say it, an unwise man that's broke, when he gets money, does money make him wise? No, he's just an unwise rich dude, right? You'd have to develop wisdom in how to deal with money for that wisdom to come. Getting the money don't make you wise. The experiences and learning from them do. Did you finish? Go from there. So, the illusion of circuit, yes, something?
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's almost like they think that the circumstance is gonna make them somebody new.
Right.
And then, people always say, well, if I had the money, I'd be like this. And then oftentimes a lot of people, they say that once people get money, their real selves come out.
Yeah.
So however that you were before just gets amplified because now you got money and you're unrestricted. So like he used the example of being late. So if you was someone that was late, you're like extra late now because you got money.
Yeah. Now you have more of a reason to propel that deficiency that you didn't work on. It's like if you don't communicate. Like brothers be wanting to run businesses and like be millionaires, but the biggest thing in any business is what?
Communication.
On every level. You got to be able to communicate on all levels. Think about it. You run a business that you have to deal with customers, and they email, they text you, but you like, I don't answer emails. I don't answer texts. But how can you be successful at that business? Because you may have to be the text message, email reader until you hire somebody.
Yep.
But how much business would you lose if you positioned your mind that, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm not doing that ever. But then you know what? Once you get in business, are you really gonna be apt to answer texts and emails and communicate in a way that doesn't necessarily seem beneficial for you or comfortable? Of course not. It's a cap. And that's why the Most High don't give us a lot of things that we want, because little things we're not doing to show that when we get it, we'll actually do something with it. What I always speak on, and he could attest, I always talk about, I don't care what you do. I don't care what you're doing, just do it the right way. If you do things the right way, that'll go a longer way than having all the best equipment, having the best people, having this or having that. It's about how you do things towards the Most High, and he rewards it. I stand on that. Just doing things the right way, not having to rush everything, taking your time, putting the effort in, making sure that you understand the process that you're going through, right? Because that's part of the little things is I got to understand the process, and I got to understand all the different ways that this can go right, because that's what we want, right? Anything we get into, we want it to just go right. But did you test to see all the ways that it could go wrong? Did you put your business savvy through the ringer and say, well, damn, you know what? I don't communicate on this level, so when the communication really needs to step up, what am I going to be doing? Or I'm late all the time, so when I do get that one big break and I'm late, what's going to happen? Right? Or I do things half-assed all the time, and when it's time for me to put my reputation on the line, what are people going to say about my work ethic, about how I do things? Right? Are they going to call me back for jobs? Are they going to refer me, my business, whatever it is? Like, everyone should be thinking like that. Like, if you had a business right now, right, and you wanted to get from 0 to 1 million, how would I be able to generate enough customer base? How would I be able to generate enough revenue through customer and word of mouth to get to that 1 million? Well, work ethic is very important, but how you do your job is very important, right? How you do the job, the details. That's what a lot of people look for, is the detail. So we got the illusion of circumstances, where the circumstance is going to change my character. No, the circumstance is actually going to highlight how bad you are or how good you. It's going to highlight what's already in you, right? So if I'm not good at cleaving to the Most High in good times, I sure damn as well ain't cleaving to him in the bad times. I mean, really, right? Right. If I'm not, watch this. If I don't pray consistently, because remember, we talking about the principles of consistency. If I don't pray consistently, just overall, what happens when it goes bad? When things start to go bad in my life? Am I going to resort to prayer in my life? If I'm already not consistent, just when things are just regular? Of course not. You're not going to automatically just evolve into a prayer warrior.
Yeah, you're not gonna, like, okay, just to bring a little bit more clarity in case y'all are being narrow-minded about it. People that believe that there is a God, black folk, Hispanic folk, native folk, when bad times hit, it's like, oh God, help me. But it's only then. It's like in that moment or in that circumstance, you might send up a prayer. But it's not a praying without ceasing. It's not a continual prayer. It's not, I'm walking through the day asking the Most High for guidance to help me throughout this day, or looking to the Most High to direct me. No, it's I'm in distress. I need help.
It's circumstantial.
God help me. But then that's it. That's it. It doesn't continue. And I'll bring it back to another example, because we were talking about money and people revealing themselves when they get money. Okay, well, someone could be like, well, when I get that good job, I'll be on time for a good paying job. Okay, so to get the job, instead of making $12 an hour, now they're making $36 an hour. I'm sure up on every day on time for this. That only lasts for the first week. Then you revert back to your old patterns.
That's the point.
You're not consistent in it. So he's not saying that they won't ever do it, but they're not going to do it consistently. They're not going to be that new person that they say that they'll be.
Because you're not going to be that new person in the good circumstance if you didn't do it in the bad circumstance.
Exactly.
Or in the mediocre circumstance, or when things weren't, you're not going to be that good prayer, that faithful person when it's really hitting the fan in your life, if you weren't doing it just on a daily when nothing was going on, when it was just regular mediocre days, right? You're not going to develop all of a sudden, because the circumstance is actually going to drown out that logic, especially if it's negative, right? Go from there. I want you to write down the illusion of a perfect time. So remember, we're still dealing in this point of principles of consistency, but now I'm giving you like little small subcategories of of why it's important to be consistent regardless of the circumstance and regardless of the perfect time. The illusion of a perfect time. Ecclesiastes. Start with Proverbs 20 and verse 4. And Ecclesiastes. Do Proverbs 20 and 4.
Proverbs chapter 20, verse 4.
Uh-huh.
The sluggard will not plow by reason of the cold.
See that? Because it's not a perfect time for him.
Dang.
Right? The circumstance ain't great.
Come.
So by reason of cold, he's gonna say, it's too cold for me to get out there. I'm good. Can't get out there today. So depending on where you live at, the whole winter you just shut down. Too cold. It's not the right ideal situation that I'm used to or that I like. But so what? What are we trying to develop? We're trying to develop character. So in developing character, it's about being able to perform and being able to get out and do what you got to do regardless of the situation, right? Regardless if it's ideal or not. Go ahead.
Therefore shall he beg in harvest and have nothing.
You see that? So if you're waiting for your circumstance, what will you have if you're just sitting around waiting? You'll never accomplish anything, right? You'll never be able to keep your hand consistently to the work that you're trying to do, right? When it comes to studying, well, I need perfect conditions. I need perfect silence it's never going to be perfect silence. This is a noisy world. I was trying to sit in the room just earlier today and just concentrate on the class real quick, and I hear meow, 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 and I'm like, what in the Lord Jesus Christ is happening right now? And it's just some stray cat, bro, outside, just meowing so loud. I can hear it all the way upstairs.
I thought when your kids brought something in.
Nah, they couldn't have did that. They couldn't have brought that in. But then what happens is they hear it, so what they want to go do?
Go see the cat.
They want to go outside and see the kitty. Oh my God, a kitty. Then they start losing it. I'm like, that ain't no damn kitty. That is a flea-infested varmint. Get them out of here, right? Get the hell up out of here. And man, that thing meowed from like 3 o'clock all the way to when I left out the house. Yeah, just ran up under my truck. Yeah, I'm like, you can sit there if you want, but I gotta go. You can sit there if you want.
Bowl of milk?
Hell nah. You bring him a bowl of milk, he gonna think he part of the family. He gonna think he adopted. We ain't doing that.
It's okay. Just leave a little food on the doorstep for him.
Nah, we good, fam. That's why we got cats and dogs in my neighborhood now. Somebody left a bowl of food and a damn bowl of water, dog food by the gate. Right by the gate. Come on in. Wow. So I got stray dogs just running through, stray cats. Nah, we ain't doing that.
They keep the mice away.
Shit, they ain't working hard enough. But the point is, if I was able to concentrate in a little bit of noise, I'd never get anything done. Because my house is always noisy. It's always something going on in my crib with the kids, and just, one section settles down, another section rises up, right? So it's never going to be perfect. But then my excuse couldn't be, well, my house was too noisy, I couldn't put my class together. Or it's too noisy, I can't study. No, you got to find a way to block certain things out, compartmentalize, understand that it's not going to be perfect, and just get to the thing, right? Go to Ecclesiastes 11 and 4. Remember, we want stuff from the Most High. We want things. We want blessings. We want to be able to flourish. But he's looking at what you're going to do with the circumstance that you're currently in and how you deal with that, right? How do you get things done with a lack of manpower? Well, shit, you use who you got and just get her done, right? Get her done. You get a skeleton crew, because a lot of it is this. We want to get blessed, and now I'm speaking on a camp level. We want to get blessed as a school. We want our own building, right? We want to be like San Antonio, and we want to get all the school and have our stuff set up, and Nobody can bother us anymore. You know how much work they put in? You know how many back-breaking jobs they did? You know how many deliveries they did? You know how many refrigerators they had to bust down?
Mm.
You know how many days they worked that truck? So think about it. They didn't just get what they got for nothing. You know how much money they had to spend to get that school together? I was with a ward the other day. I'm not gonna put numbers out there, but it wasn't cheap. You know how much work they had to put in consistently? They couldn't have this illusion of, oh, it's too cold, we can't move nobody today. Hell nah. Or, oh, it's too hot. Because truth be told, San Antonio get hotter than Houston by a few degrees.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, bruh.
Yeah.
Bruh. Yeah. It's different out there. They ain't got no water. They ain't got no coast. Right? But San Antonio gets hot as hell, bro. 103, 105. Nasty humidity. And brothers got to be out there sweating the salt, sweating the electrolytes out their body day in and day out. Can't complain. Get home, recharge, rehydrate. Babe, can you rub the Charlie horse? Rub that out. 2 hours of sleep, back on it. But they got what they got because of the work that they put in.
Mm-hmm.
We can't expect something and then not have to expect that we got to put work in on all levels, especially the smallest details, the smallest levels. Right? And we can't make excuses either that, oh, the conditions aren't favorable. They're never going to be favorable. It don't matter what we do as Israelites. The conditions ain't going to be favorable until the Most High destroys this place and Christ comes and makes it favorable. It's always not going to be in your favor. That's the point. Through much tribulation. So does tribulation now become the excuse? Can't be. That's like baked into the system.
Yeah.
Tribulation is like baked in. It's like part of the package. Here goes the invoice. It's a two-man move, a truck, and tribulation.
Yeah. Tribulation.
Truck guys will get that. It's baked in. It's part of the package, man. Tribulation, hard work, dedication, being consistent, being diligent. If you're talking about being an Israelite, these are the things that Israelites need. Yeah, you need fringes and a beard if you're a man. Yeah, you need fringes and you need some Hebrew and all that, but you need consistency. You need to be able to fight through circumstances and fight through conditions to get what you want. Go to Ecclesiastes 11. I want you to read verse 3.
Ecclesiastes chapter 11 and verse 3. If the clouds be full of rain,
Right?
they empty themselves upon the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And if the tree fall toward the south
Mm-hmm.
or toward the north,
Right?
and the place where the tree falleth, there it shall be.
There is meaning things is gonna do what they do. Clouds fill up with rain, it's gonna rain. It don't care what you got going on. If a tree wanted to just fall, it don't care that you're in the way or that you put a garden underneath it. That's the point. I'm trying to show you that the earth don't care what you got going on. The earth don't stop doing its natural things because we have endeavors and we have dreams and we have business, or we got to go to work that day. Shh. It could rain a damn tsunami tomorrow, and guess what? Some of us still got to get up and go do what we got to go do. Unless they close the mall. Unless they close the mall, brothers got to get up and do what?
Get that mall.
What vehicle we got that's going to get us there? Got to get up and be there.
What's funny is damn natural disaster is about to wipe out the mall, and you gotta still be there.
Still be there. Lights shut off, this, that. And then not only do you got to be there, you got to make some bread.
Everybody, are you guys gonna shut down? Like, we're shutting down. We're shutting down early. He's like, no, we're gonna ride it out.
Yeah, we're going to ride it out. I remember we rode out COVID. We were the only dumbasses riding out COVID. I'm talking about the mall was closed. The security went home.
Right. Victoria's Secret's closed. Best Buy was closed.
I remember when the
Fire
last
Bar
day of COVID
closed.
hit. That was insane. And yeah, everything was shut. And we were like, nah, we just gonna You're gonna see what happens. Remember when Hurricane Harvey hit?
Yeah.
Remember that? When that hit, we're just gonna kick it. We're just gonna ride it out.
You can't get home from the mall.
You can't get home. Yeah, that mall, you get stuck at that mall. That's the one thing. I remember, oof, I got trapped one time and I ain't had a truck. I had a car. It was bad. But we got to understand that circumstances, right, and them not being perfect, that is part of the tribulation. And so I think once we understand that and more we understand that, the easier it is to go through our tribulations. But one of the things we have to understand also is that the earth does not stop because you're an Israelite or because you got something to do. No, the earth keeps going and you got to figure your way around the fallen tree. You got to get the rain boots on and be prepared. And that's what it's showing you. Be prepared for the worst, right? And now are we saying we put brothers in situations, or you supposed to put yourself in a situation where now the rain or the weather or something harms you? Of course not. Of course not. This is more about prepping the mind and showing what is it that prevents us, right? What is it that prevents you from building your character and then from your character getting the things that you aspire, right? The litmus test of character. All right, read on.
Verse 4.
Uh-huh.
He that observeth the wind.
He that what?
Observeth the wind.
Yeah, you go outside, you like, oh yeah, it's like a slight northeastern tilt, about 80 miles. No, we good. We can't go out today, son. A little bit too gusty out there. Or man, the wind is blowing east west. The wind just be blowing. The wind, it blow wherever it want. That's the point. The wind is gonna do whatever it want. What are you doing? Ignore it. Move around it. Don't get caught up in things that are just naturally gonna be there. What's up?
Now I just think about little weird things that happen, like with the asset recovery business. How dude, he got us for like 13,000 or something like that, and that just could have been. You know what? It's a wrap. We could have hung up the towel right there, and then another time, all these other times, oh yeah, we're about to get this, and then something strange. When I say strange, it'd be strange happening. All the paperwork signed, lawyers involved. We're going after the money, and then all of a sudden, there's some new heir involved that has more heirship than the person that we're dealing with. That just kind of appears out of nowhere. Yeah, we thought he was dead. Oh yeah, he was supposed to be in Europe, but now all of a sudden he wants to be in Houston, Texas. It's just weird.
It's factors. Stuff. It's factors.
Yeah.
It's weird things and some things you can't prepare for.
Oh, and then with the code, I get up in the morning and I leave the house and I go walk and I'll walk to the gym or whatever. Bruh, that code kept me in the house for a little bit. But now I'm like, you know what? I did that. I can't let that hold me back. And so I got to get back out there in them elements. Can't let the circumstances keep me.
Read on.
He that observeth the wind shall not sow.
Why? Because instead of observing where to sow, you're observing where the wind is blowing, the unseen. You're more worried about the unseen. You can't see the wind. But you can see where you're supposed to be sowing. You can see where your work is supposed to be taking place. The wind is blowing, but it might not be blowing where you're going. See, the wind is preventing us from pulling up to where we should be. Go ahead.
And he that regardeth the clouds shall not reap.
Oh, damn. You know what? It's looking cloudy. You know what? I think them clouds is coming this way. We tuck tail. You don't know. So what is it saying? Just go out and do what you got to do. And if you get a little raindrop on you, guess what it's not going to do? It's not going to kill you. You get a little wind that gust around you, guess what it's not going to do? It's not going to kill you. What does wind have to do with you sowing? Them seeds are in the ground. The wind can't blow that up. And once you sow, that rain is supposed to do what? Ain't it supposed to water those seeds? So actually, the Most High is actually working for you. But see, we don't look at it like that. We look at it like, oh, I'm being worked against. Or here's my excuse. But remember, it's a sluggard mind state. And if you develop, again, these small little instances, it doesn't matter. You're going to develop into the same person, just in bigger instances. Or you may not get your break. That's the point. You may not get the thing you're actually working towards because you didn't work towards it in the small things. Right?
Yeah, you value your comforts more than your goals. You value your comforts more than what you say you wanted in life. A lot of people say they want certain things, but they're not willing to get out their comforts for it.
Exactly.
That's what the code. Like even the example that Quasi was using, the seed under the ground don't have nothing to do with the code. The water don't have nothing to do with the code. It's going to nourish. He said the Most High is working with you, but you got to be in the elements. That's uncomfortable. Even when the priests were walking across the Jordan, right? Well, they didn't do the Moses staff and walls of water just built. They had to get out in the water and get wet. It's faith, but also you're putting yourself in an uncomfortable situation. But it proves your faith too.
Yeah, and that's what it is. I gotta wait for it to be better to get out. That's unfaithfulness versus faithfulness. Read on.
Verse 5. As thou knowest not what is the way of the Spirit.
See that? You don't know the way of the Spirit. Read.
Nor how the bones do grow in the womb of her
Come on.
that is with child.
Come on.
Even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
Thou knowest what? Not what?
Even so thou knowest not the works of God who maketh all.
See that? Read.
In the morning sow thy seed.
Yeah, he said in the morning, get your ass up and hurry up. Get up. Get out there and do what you got to do. Read.
And in the evening withhold not thine hand.
And then in the evening, you're justified in only opening your hand to receive.
Yeah.
He said, withhold not thy hand. Open your hands up wide, because you're going to get something. Go ahead.
For thou knowest not whether shall prosper, either this or that, or whether they both shall be alike.
See that? You don't know if this or that is going to prosper, or if they both prosper, or they can both fail that day. But at least you went out. At least you developed a diligent character. At least you developed a faithful character. At least you developed a character not based on circumstance and not based on timing, right? Next, we're under the same point. The illusion that money cures character. The illusion that money, once I make it, I'm gonna change. Again, a broke fool if he doesn't become a wise fool, it's gonna be a rich fool. If you bad with a little bit of money, you're gonna be bad with a lot of money. It don't matter, right? It don't matter if you got a bunch of money if you got a little bit of money and you don't know how to work with that. Guess what? You're gonna be just the same with a lot of money, and that's why, hey, Most High be saving us the anguish. To be honest, He like, let me save you some trouble. Let me save you some heartache. Let me save you some cursing and bitterness. Learn how to be faithful in the small amount you have, and then guess what? Once you get that big amount, it's easy. It's easy, right? One of the things the war said when they was setting up their school and they're like, shit, we have to save our money. We have to save it. It was coming in a little bit at a time. He's like, bro, we have to just save it. Wait for that thing to stack and then put it on the thing we need to put it on. Because something always gonna come up, right? Yep. You know how I go, like, you like, man, when I get my taxes, I'm gonna pay this off, and that off. Get the taxes and something else happens and you gotta do what? Put it on there.
Yep. Use it.
Do you have to? Or do you allow yourself, because of a circumstance, to change your own mind? So you don't have to. You can be, it's really about discipline. You can tell yourself, I don't care what happens, I'm putting this money on this. And it don't matter what's going on around me. That money is not for what's going on around me. I'm gonna have to deal with that another way. But this money is for this. It's discipline. It's not letting circumstance change you. And we got to get better at that, because all too many times we get a little bit and then we say, what? I'm gonna put it towards this. And then it's always on cue that something outside of what you thought of pops up. And now you got to go buy 50 million other things with that same money that was supposed to benefit you. And that's why we can't get ahead as people, as a people. I was looking at something. I've been watching these YouTube videos about black families in the 60s. And one of the things that they were talking about was like, you know, first of all, we wasn't like throwing our money inside banks like that, right? And mom, she would get her little pocket money from like, you know, sewing, and she would bake her little cakes and sell them. And so she had her little money, right? But a lot of things was like, remember, there was no payroll system, direct deposit. There was none of that stuff. Everything was paid in cash. And you got paid like daily, right? In most cases. So what would they do? They had the envelope system, right? And so rent, groceries, back in the 60s, it was rent, groceries, light bill. If you had a car note, no, guess what? No car note. You know why? Most people bought their cars in cash. It was this. So if they had an envelope for the car, it was the save up money to buy the car cash. But the point is, they wasn't dipping into the car money for the AC. Oh, they didn't have ACs back then. So they wasn't dipping into the car money, being undisciplined for the rent. Because the mind is, if I can't afford it, I don't need it. If I can't afford it, I don't need it. Now, let's take it back to, let's take that principle to what we're talking about. A broke nigga that lives over his means will turn into a rich nigga that lives over their means. That's why all your celebrities is broke as hell.
Yep.
That's why all your little rappers that we idolize, not me. All you little video vixens and all them little chicks that they throw in your face, they broke for real. Why? Because they were stupid with money. Nobody trained them how to be with money. And then they got a bag, and then guess what? Half of them fumble the bag. They go broke on stupid stuff. They got addictions. They got gambling addictions on top of drug addictions, on top of alcohol addictions. So they got to pay for that while trying to live in this $1 million mansion, while trying to drive a Bugatti, but couldn't even pay a $500 car note in the real world.
In the real world.
Yeah. Couldn't even pay a little car note before the fame.
500.
Right? That's like unheard of. A $500 car note. Yo, listen. Maybe I'm telling y'all this is how old I am. There was a time when I had a car note. Brand new car, $250. $250. Brand new car off the lot. Pickup truck, $250. Good credit. Low APR. That was back in 2001. Woo!
Man.
Them days is gone.
God.
Car notes is $1,400 now. I mean, not mine, because that's nuts. But I think the average car note today is about $800. About $750 to $800. Imagine that. You averaging out at $750 to $800. Right? But if you couldn't manage the $250, if you couldn't manage when it was $500, just because you got a little bit of extra, you got a little extra 50 cents on your check, don't mean that you all of a sudden you about to manage this $1,000 car note. And then why would you want to live above your means? Why would you practice that inconsistent living of living above your means? You ain't got it when you was broke, but we live above our means when we're broke, right? You broke trying to buy all the Jordans, trying to get all of this, all of that, but ain't got no gas money for the car. You got the car, you got the whip, you whipping, but then you pull to the gas station talking about give me 5 on pump 2. Nigga, that's crazy. 5 on pump 2 is diabolical. Because you don't be buying a gas pump in 3 years. From putting 5 on pump 2, it's retarded. your damn gas tank just sucking up all the dirt and soot inside the tank
Yeah.
because you keep running down that little $5 you putting in. You get 5 on 2.
I seen this video, or I no, it was a meme. It said, no, it was a video. Dude was like, he was like, y'all need to watch out here. This dude is insane. You gotta watch out for this dude. And he pulls up to the pump. He was like, he put $1 of gas. You mean it? He's like, a nigga like this don't give a.
Yeah, he don't give a damn.
Wow.
$1 is madness. With the price of gas, come on, you're not even getting a gallon.
No.
You're not even wetting the engine. You're not even like, as soon as you turn it on, it turn off. He probably had like a damn V8 charger.
Right.
Niggas want to drive Challengers that just be burning gas. Talking about let me get 3 on pump 10 and a pack of Swishers.
Oh dang, that's
Oh,
swishers.
no.
Come on, man.
Swishers over gas.
Yeah, but that's my point. If you're like that in the world and you don't, if you're like that when you're broke and you don't develop a level of responsibility and discipline to say, you know what, I don't need the Swishers, I need the gas. 'Cause I got to get to work. I might not be living it up, but I need to be able to be responsible to get to work. And if my habit is overshadowing my responsibilities, when does that stop? Now you got more money to feed your habit, so you get even more irresponsible. That's all we're trying to show you. The illusion that money cures character. Ecclesiasticus 13:24. Read that. You can read from sitting down if you need to.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 13 and verse 24.
Just lift your voice either way.
Ha. Riches are good unto him that hath no sin,
Go ahead.
and poverty is evil in the mouth of ungodly.
Right, so riches are good to him that have no sin, meaning what? The context is talking about riches and sin. I'm using it more, not that we're sinners and not accusing anybody of sin, but just showing you these things that are character flaws. Money is good when you don't have those flaws. But if you're a flawed character, money don't cure it. You can't throw money at every problem. Money ain't the answer. And you're not gonna change because now you got a little bag. It say a garbage can get a bone twice a day. It say a broken clock is right twice a day.
Yep.
A lot of the times we think because we gotta win doing things wrong, that's okay to keep doing things wrong. Right? I'm broken. My communication is broken. The method in which I do things is broken. My work ethic is broken. It's lazy. But because I'm able to get through my day and I might catch a win here and there, that's the okay to what? Keep doing things the wrong way, right? It shouldn't be like that. But you have many brothers and sisters that because they get a win in doing things wrong, they disregard wisdom on how to do things right. And they say, well, I'm successful over here. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm good. I'm going to keep doing it the way I've been doing it.
Bible calls that the prosperity of fools.
A prosperity of fools. But riches are good to him that have no sin, meaning the money ain't going to clear up the sin. You got to clear up the sin. You got to clear up the character defect, the inconsistencies. Just because you got money, don't mean you're going to be on time for things if you was never on time. You said it earlier. Now you're going to have more of an inflated ego and a big head to be more, to be on time, even not be on time even more. Why you late? I got money. You know there's people that say that. What you doing there? I got bread. I could do that. They think because money, you can say, bro. They think because money, that's the excuse to have character deficiencies, right? Where we got to be working out these deficiencies. We got to be working out these small things in our character to develop into something greater. Where we at? Go to Ecclesiastes Go to Ecclesiasticus 5 and 10.
God.
Yeah, I mean, the bottom line is this: money is only good to the person money is only good to the person holding it. That's not flawed and that has these deficiencies. Money actually fuels the deficiencies. That's why it's an illusion. That's why money is so dangerous. And so all these 3 points that we're hitting, I'm giving you the reverse of the consistency. I'm showing you that if a person is consistent in these ways, they're gonna develop themselves the wrong way. If I'm consistently thinking that, oh, money, that's gonna fix me, or when I get money, I'm not gonna be like that. Before I be like that, then guess what? You're gonna develop into that and spin out anyway. Ecclesiasticus 5, 10. Yep.
Ecclesiasticus chapter 5 and verse 10. Be steadfast in thy understanding.
It's like it. It's Ecclesiastes 5 and 10. I got it small. My bad. Everybody in the thing in the chat with me. Hopefully y'all are understanding this class. I mean, it's a pretty basic concept. Let's do a couple of spins on it to make it not so basic. Because this is deeper than what you think. You know what's funny? You know what the wild thing is? The one thing I noticed too, sometimes we put together some of the most simplest classes that go over brothers and sisters' heads because what do you say to yourself? It's too simple. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And you miss it. And you're looking for the big thing. You're looking for the big Balboski, right? You're like the Assyrian, you're like that Assyrian guard that had leprosy. And who was it? Elijah told him, was it Elijah or Elisha? It was Elisha told him to go wash in the Jordan. He was like, the Jordan? Nigga, there's better. I gotta went to the Damascus River, the Jordan. And then his servant came out and said, look, you waiting for this big thing. You waiting for this grandiose, this grandiose fix where it's just a simplicity, right? If he would have told you to backflip off the mountain, right? Somersault 14 times, slaughter 1 million oxen, burn all the frankincense trees and myrrh trees in the world, slaughter 1,000 men, you would have been cool with that. Oh, that's all I gotta do? But he said, go dip in the Jordan, and you had a problem with that, right? And some of us move that way where, this ain't deep enough.
Yeah.
It's not enough knowledge. When, that stuff go over your head too, right? Where it's these small concepts that the more and more we take these in, even including myself, the more and more I do the small things, I find myself lately taking on something and then not completing. I'm becoming a not completer. Dude, it's nasty. Because I'm like, damn, got this class, got to finish it. Got that class to finish, got this book to read, got this book to read. But I wouldn't have this class to finish, that class to finish, and 4 books to read on 4 different classes if I didn't just do one thing at a time. It's not that you're not supposed to do multiple things. But see, now I'm at the point where I'm like, I don't want to read no damn book. I'm good. I don't want to finish none of them classes. I'm good. I'm frustrated with my own self because I'm like, damn, I started doing too much. And now there's videos I got to edit. Like, bruh, I am not trying to.
Edit videos, finish class,
Nope.
Pull up here, show up there,
Nope.
do counsel there,
Nope.
do counsel over there.
Nope. Because that's the problem when you start a bunch of things and don't finish. You literally impact yourself negatively, right? You start to get down on your own self. Like, damn, I didn't finish that. I look back a month from now. That's what I usually do. I go back to the last month. I don't remember nothing. Y'all know that. I go back to the last month and I'm like, damn, when did I start that? Oh, shit. I didn't finish that? Okay, nah. I got to get better at finishing things. Let me complete this. So and then what you got to do? Then you got to sit down and dedicate an absurd amount of time and effort to that one thing. But if I would have stood consistently, chipping at it, a little bit here, a little bit there, and stay consistent, I wouldn't have to sit there and plow away at editing a video for 8 hours in one day, or whatever the case may be. Y'all get what I'm saying? If I read a little bit, if I read 4 or 5 pages of this book a night, I wouldn't have to sit and try to cram the whole book in one day just to get my class off and things like that. So, you know, being consistent, it can impact your life in many different areas. And you know, the different things that we do, the different offices that we have, it's going to impact us differently too. But at the end of the day, it impacts us all, right? It impacts us all together, right? Because we feed off of each other. Where you at?
Ecclesiastes chapter 5 and verse 10.
5 and 10. Go ahead.
He that loveth silver shall not be satisfied with silver,
Go ahead.
nor he that loveth abundance with increase.
Yeah, you're not going to be satisfied anyway, because it can't fix everything. Once you guess what you're going to be looking for? The next come up. And the next come up, and you're not going to be worried about what you need to fix in you. You're not going to be worried about the small things. You're going to be worried about, I need to get that bag. I need that big payday, right? When y'all do the asset recovery business, isn't it small things like signatures that give you the big thing, like the paycheck?
Gone.
So if you miss signatures, do you get the paycheck?
Lie.
Nah. Right? But then once you get the paycheck, do you forget about doing the small things the next time?
Nope.
No.
Make sure you do the small things.
Yeah, because you want to keep getting that increase, right? You keep making sure I get the ID, the signature. I make sure that all my paperwork, all my ducks are in a row. Paperwork is like the demon of Israelites.
Right.
Paperwork, invoices is Israelite demon. That's like the Satan to Israelite businesses. It's the adversary to black businesses. I'm not talking about Israelite, like Israelite believer, me and you. I'm talking about Israelites as a whole. We hate paperwork. We hate paperwork. We hate that clerical. We hate clerical duties. I just want to go out there and do the thing and get paid. Yeah, but then guess what? Once you get paid enough, the IRS is going to be looking to get paid too. And they want to see that paperwork. That paperwork, especially now. Yo, because this tax season is about to be, you better get it together. This tax season is about to be crazy. It's about to be different, right? It's about to be different. With that shutdown, that's going to impact because they fired a lot of IRS workers. And a lot of things are still backed up from when they shut down and fired those IRS workers. So, but they never stopped working. They never stopped sending off automated letters and different things like that. But anything that has to do with being mailed in, good luck. Good luck. It's backed up in the pipeline. But see, our problem is we hate to do that paperwork, that clerical work. We just want to go out there, be physical, use our brawn, right? Throw our muscles at everything and then not think about anything.
That's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah, just throw your brawn at it, right?
Yeah.
But what about your brains? The most important part of a business outside of doing the actual business is the accounting. It's the most important part. Where the money is going, how it's being allocated, where it's coming from, and keeping track. That's where a lot of businesses get crushed because of paperwork. Something so simple. And if you're not good at paperwork, just find somebody that is. Get you an assistant, hire you an office man, something. That's what killed my dad and his businesses. Paperwork. Now you owe the IRS. Now you owe this person. Now you can't keep up with who paid you what. Right? They got the way this world is set up, they got an AI for everything. They got invoices, AI invoices you can set up. You put somebody's name, the amount, and it'll do everything for you. You ain't got to think no more if you don't want to be a thinker. Right? And we're just talking about on a business sense. I know, but there's many senses, right? Taking account of small things to understand how do I achieve to that big thing. What's that?
Where I used to work at a car lot, I worked with the owner himself. And when I first started working, he was going through an IRS audit. But it came out to be that the person that he had over doing his paperwork for the IRS was actually stealing from him and his CEO or something like that, his best buddy. But they were stealing from him for years.
Mhm.
But he could have had a CPA, something so simple.
Yeah, just
But he always tried to take the easy way route to just pay little, but in the end it just like screwed him over.
some things you just got to pay for.
Yeah.
So we learned that the hard way.
And he
also.
still did it. He had me doing his paperwork.
Really? Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
I
I
don't
don't know what I'm doing.
Cause they charge, but yo, it's better to pay a CPA a small little amount of money to do their job, you know, $1,000, get it done, than to owe the IRS thousands and get audited.
Because the CPA, they're liable to, at the end of the day, they'll be liable.
Yeah,
That's
they're not
what
doing
they're
it right, so they got to do their
yeah.
thing right. But they'll catch a lot of things that you ain't gonna catch as a regular just person that don't really know much about taxes. They study that stuff.
Mhm.
There's tax updates, like even this year. If you don't know, there's a lot of updates with the taxes this year. I'm like nervous to do my own. I usually just do my own. It's easy, but this year I'm like, I might have to source that out. I might have to get somebody because, yo, there's things that they're doing in this year's taxes that are retroactive from when Trump passed the big beautiful bill. You got to know that. If you don't know what's in the bill and you just go and file your taxes, you might short yourself a bag, right?
You get the bag and fumble it.
You get the bag and fumble it. I get the bag and twist it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'm like, let me go to somebody that knows what's up. If I'm supposed to get a little bit extra money, I don't mind paying to get that extra money. I'm not trying to get audited and then file this paperwork and they already backed up. It's small things. Like we could apply this class or these principles everywhere in life, in every facet, right? Down to teaching your kids, right? Down to teaching your kids. Like if you teach your kids, you homeschool your kids. Like what's the point of, like you put ABCs in front of them, right? A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3. But what's the point of putting them in, spell the word Deuteronomy? But if they don't even know how to get from A to Z, what the hell's the point? Wait, so you can't spell your name? Hold up real quick. Let's go back real quick. Wait, you don't know what comes after C? Well, we should work on that before we show you how to spell your name. Now, can we work on both things simultaneously? Of course. But the emphasis got to be more on the basic small thing. Let's get from A to Z, and then we'll work on your connecting letters together in words, right? Because do you teach your kids sentences before you teach them words? Spell that sentence. Well, I don't even know one word in the sentence. Oh, okay.
But they don't know how to read.
They don't know how to read, but spell, like, no, wait, you teach them the small things to be able to get them. So you start with a small thing like the letter A, the alphabet, to get them to be able to write sentences. So they learn a letter, then they learn a word, then they learn how to write out a sentence. That's how you structure learning, right? You don't teach math problems like divide 7 into 4 before you teach them how to count 1 to 10. Doesn't make sense. So that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, you're developing something, develop it the right way, right? The reality of consistency. The reality of consistency is that true character is defined by consistency and not by circumstances. That's the reality. True character is defined by consistency. How consistent can you be in doing things the correct way? That's the reality. Not circumstance. Not when it flows your way. Not when it's easy this day or easy that day. Not when you were able to cut corners. Like, that'd be killing me. Niggas be cutting corners. Like, oh, well, you know, this is my my job, so I'm just going to cut corners. But guess what? You're going to adopt those same principles when you now transition into your own business. You're not going to automatically change from cutting corners because it's your business. That's a farce. That's why it's the illusion. That's why it's an illusion. It's a lie. Well, yeah, I'm like that because it's Esau, man. You know, White man's a devil. But we be more devilish to ourselves because we develop a consistency of being habitual corner cutters. Right? You're a habitual corner cutter. And then if we put you in a situation where it's for Israel, guess what you're going to learn how to do? Better than anything. What you always do, cut corners. You're going to be who you are regardless of where you are. That's the point. Y'all get it now? Class over.
Fin.
Philippians 4:11. We're still under the reality of. So this is a whole nother point. Right? Meaning we went over the point, the principles of consistency, or the principle of consistency. Now we're dealing with the reality of consistency. It's a whole other point. So this is actually point 2. Yeah. The other ones were like the illusion. That was like point 1A. The illusion of it, point 1B. Yeah, I should have said that earlier. Salakia. The reality of consistency, Philippians 4:11. So what's the reality of consistency? Read.
Book of Philippians, chapter 4 and verse 11.
Go ahead.
Not that I speak in respect of one,
Go ahead.
for I have learned in whatsoever state I am.
Right. He said, I have what?
I have learned.
I have what?
I have learned.
I threw money at the estate that I was in.
I have learned.
I have what?
I have learned.
So consistency is about learning. It's a learned behavior. Approaching the small things and tackling those things, it's a learned behavior. It's something that you learn. Who's going off in the chat?
Nobody.
Oh, okay. I just seen a lot of typing. Oh, that's you.
Yeah, that's me putting scriptures up.
Right, the one. It's a learned behavior. That's what Paul is trying to let us know. That's the reality. You gotta learn this. And you learn by what? Doing things wrong consistently and getting the result, and then doing things right consistently and getting a result and saying, damn, I want to be consistent the right way.
Mhm.
Again, you can do things and cut corners and get a win. Until you don't. That's the point. And then you're impacted and you want to do what? Man, the devil, white man. No, nigga, you was lazy. You was lazy. You had lazy habits. It's not the white man's fault that he gave you a way to do things at his business, and you say, you know what? I'm gonna figure out a way to not do that. It's not his fault that he caught you. Imagine you at work. They give you a way to do things. They give you a way how to do paperwork, how to deal with customers, everything, right? Now, watch it. Do you cut corners? We all do. No, okay, I'll let you answer. Do you cut corners?
I don't really follow it. I find my own way. I find my own way to do it. I guess you can say it.
Now, let me ask you this. If you were to sit with a manager and they audited your work, would you be dinged for doing things your own way? So you're not doing things in a way where you're going against company policies,
Right.
or shorting the customer,
Right.
or impacting the work in a negative way, right? You're probably doing things, they probably give you the leeway because of your position to do things.
Right.
Because you have
they give me things. They call me a problem resolution specialist.
So then, that's the point. So then now, you're given you got the leeway to do that. Man, listen, a lot of cats ain't got the leeway to do that. They're just lazy. I don't want to do this and this, so I'm gonna make sure I figure out a way to cut that off and cut that off and cut that off so I can get home early.
Yeah.
Or I could not show up that day, or whatever it is.
So let me say, they give me things that where somebody has cut the corners to try to put it back on track.
So you resolve niggas corner cutting. So you reattach the corner once they cut it off. So the corner be rounded. You're like, nah, we're gonna make this corner straight. Yeah, but that's my point. So they give you the leeway to do that in your way because they see that you have a talent. But see, I'm dealing more on the person that cuts the corners, and what it does, it negatively impacts their character. And then when they transition over to their own thing, that character never changes. They just now are lazy and are a corner cutter. Can't have that because you can't get nothing. Remember Luke 16:10 said what? Little things, small things. You're going to be unfaithful in little, you're going to be unfaithful in much. You're going to be faithful in little, you're going to be faithful in much. Read where you at.
Look at Philippians chapter 4, verse 11.
Right, keep reading.
in whatsoever state I am,
Right?
therefore with to be content.
Right, go ahead.
I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound.
Come on.
Everywhere and in all things. I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry.
Right. So the illusion of circumstances and perfect timing, all that's destroyed. Why? Because to be content is a learned behavior. Y'all see that? This is something that you have to learn. To be content with what you're doing and do it the proper way, you have to train yourself. You have to develop your character. But guess what? Here's the key. That is how you develop your character properly. By being content and going through the things that you have to go through. By going through the process. Learning the process. Understanding the process and then testing it. I'm a very huge proponent on that. Process, understanding it. There's a process. Let me understand how the process works. Then let me test it. Let me see. Let me put myself through the process. Right? And some processes take longer than others to yield. Some processes hurt. Some processes feel good. Some don't. Depending on what you're dealing with, what you're trying to achieve. The process of fasting. It's not a fun process, especially if you're doing it for like a significant weight loss or if you're doing it for a significant life change. Yo, you can't fast one time and be like, see, did it. I'm straight, yo.
Check that off the bucket list.
Yeah, check that off the before I die list, right? The bucket list. No, you'd have to make a lifestyle adjustment that a lot of people just don't want to make because the process of fasting is grievous. But it's supposed to be. It ain't supposed to feel good to afflict your spirit. Or I should say, to afflict the flesh, to afflict the spirit. That don't feel good. It doesn't feel good to withdraw things from you. Especially things you need like food and water. Come on. But it's a process. And then you would have to allow time for that process to take hold. And you'd have to settle in and do what? Bear it, deal with it.
Get
right?
your mind right.
Get your mind in it. Can be content. And then you learn for the next time. Okay, damn, that's the process. That's what it's gonna take. Yeah, that's why a lot of us avoid fasting. That Day of Atonement be smacking people. That Day of Atonement be body bagging cats, and they're like, "Nah, I know what that process feel like. I'm good." And it's like, it ain't that bad. Because part of the process is to learn how to remove your mind from that situation and put it somewhere else. That's part of the process. But if you don't know how to do that part, then the entire process is going to seem grievous. And I'm just talking about just fasting, something that, you know, it should be simple, and it should be a lot. Fasting, it should be way more implemented in our lifestyle. Right? Just because of our belief system, we should be giving ourselves more to fasting. I mean, the Bible tells you to do that. Give yourself to fasting and prayer and this and that. And we should be looking to do those things a lot more. And it should be a lot easier for us. Right? The more we go through the process. Go from there. Go to Proverbs 25 and 28. Dad?
Proverbs chapter 25 and verse 28. He that hath no rule over his own spirit
Dad?
is like a city that is broken down.
So a person that can't rule their spirit doesn't automatically learn how to rule their spirit because the circumstance changes. The circumstance actually shows that they can't rule their spirit. So if you have a person that's undisciplined in a small thing, well, when the circumstance changes, guess what's going to happen? Or if the circumstance is heightened, guess what's going to happen? They're going to be undisciplined in that detrimental moment. And so it's going to be revealed. They're going to be like this broken down city. You can tell when a city is broken down, right? Like anybody ever drove through like Gary, Indiana? That Iron Belt. Anybody ever been to like Detroit in its heyday? I'm talking about after the car companies left. But if you ever slid through Gary, Indiana, you knew, damn, this is a broken down city. You knew it. As soon as you pulled in, you were like, whoa. It's a daytime ghost town. Like,
Daytime ghost.
ain't nobody walking the streets. Ain't no stores open. Bro, Gary, Indiana, one of them places in America that, I mean, visit at your own risk. Right? But I've been through there a few times. My grandparents actually used to live there. Right? In Gary, Indiana. When they lived there, it was a little bit more bustling. Gary, Indiana used to be one of the blackest places in America. Black industry, steel mill jobs. You know, Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana. Like, Pops worked at the steel mills. Yeah, so there was a time in the 50s, 60s, 70s where that place was popping. And you wanted to be there. When I slid through there in the early 2000s, that's not where you wanted to stop and get gas at. Nah, you wanted to go to the next city over. Right? You wanted to go to Chicago or something. Slide down to Indianapolis. Serious. It was bad. I was like, whoa, I ain't never really, I've traveled in cars and driven and stopped. I've never been spooked. I was spooked because I'm like, where everybody at? Tumbleweeds blowing through the street. No lie, bro.
It's like Book of Eli.
Yo, it was like Book of Eli out there. No lie. It's one of the most abandoned cities in America. They lost everything. But it's a broken city. You could tell it's broken down. They're trying to give away buildings out there. Right? Detroit at one time mimicked it, and it was a broken down city. The houses, everything was destroyed. Right? Because what was it? The car companies leave, that automotive industry left the city. So the city was broken down because that's all they depended on. Rochester went through that with Kodak.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The city started to lose its vigor. But the point that I'm trying to make, you could slide into a city and tell that this city done lost, its spirit is broken. Right? Because of whatever industry left it. But you can tell that by a man. You can look at him and say, man, this man has no discipline over his spirit. He's like that broken city because he can't discipline himself in small things. He can't sit and pay attention in this situation. So that means that he can't receive information properly. That means when he does get information, he reacts incorrectly to what he does receive. See that? So he'll get more excited and angry over things you shouldn't get excited and angry about because he doesn't have the discipline to listen. Then he doesn't have the capacity to break things down in his own mind. And then he jumps to conclusion. And you can see that. Small things like paying attention now can lead to angry situations or situations of contention. Because I don't pay attention good, so I don't receive information. So I develop problems. I let situations blow up in my own head, and then right? That's why I went there. Go from there. Go from there. And that's the point. The circumstances, they reveal your character. That's the whole point. The next point. The source of character. Like, where does our character come from? Where do these things come from in us? How do they develop? 832.
The second point or
No, this is a third point. This is the third point now. You see, I'm doing it quick. I only got like 2 scriptures per point, trying to keep it simple, concise. Luke 6:45. The source of character. Luke 6:45.
Down. Book of Luke, chapter 6, and verse 45.
Right.
A good man out of the good treasure of his heart
Right.
bringeth forth that which is good.
See that? So a good man is going to bring forward that's what's good. It's not the other way around. It's not what you bring that makes you good. It's the thing that's already in you. What are you already predisposed to be? What did you develop? Right? It tells you a good tree don't bring forth evil fruit and vice versa. So you'd already have to have developed into good for that good to come or for you to give that good. Right? You'd already have to be a good man in that small situation for that big situation to profit you. That's the point. And again, I'm gonna keep saying it. That's why we don't profit when we feel like it's our time, we don't profit because you didn't do well. You didn't do yourself justice in that small situation. You didn't adopt good habits and good principles, and you weren't consistent in the small thing. I got a small paycheck. Well, you better know how to divide that little ass paycheck and be good with that money. Because what happens when the paycheck go up? See, I keep using that example because a lot of us are money centered, our mind, and we can understand that example. So I got to be good in small amounts of money. I got to know how to save, put to the side. I got to know when to spend. I got to know how to bargain shop. I got to know how to do all these things. So if I get a bag of money, what am I going to do? Just blow it? Or if I just get a bag of whatever it is I'm looking for, what am I going to do? Just blow it? I didn't develop a way on how to use it, right? If I'm trash with women, right? Forget about women. Watch this. If I'm whack as hell with people, meaning I'm not brotherly or sisterly with just people. I'm an Israelite. The Bible say Israel is our brother. We're brothers and sisters to one another. But I get a wife or I get a husband. What's gonna stop me from treating them like shit?
Nothing.
Nada. Right? You were supposed to develop yourself as a brother and a sister regardless of husband, wife, daughter, regardless of that. Brother and sister. And how do I operate in brother and sister mode in the lens of the Bible? And once I develop that character, then guess what? I could be a proper husband to any woman. I could be a proper brother to any brother. I could be a proper father, a proper wife. But if I have the deficiency of evil, hate, contention, greed in me, towards covetousness, towards my people, guess what? I'm gonna be jealous towards my wife. I'm gonna be contentious towards my husband. I'm gonna be jealous towards my husband. All those characters and flaws are gonna come out once I get into this better situation of marriage. See how I did that? How I can apply this in any circumstance. Yeah, because it's applicable everywhere. Right? Go from there. Did you, read on, finish reading, somebody get me Wisdom of Solomon 1 and 4.
And an evil man,
Right?
out of the evil treasure of his heart.
See that? An evil man don't change because of circumstance. He just continues to be evil as hell. He's not looking at circumstance like, you know what, this is an occasion to be good. No, he's already predisposed to be evil. So what he brings forth is going to be a reflection of him. What we bring forth in situations, our work ethic is a reflection of what you developed. Your communication is a reflection of you and your character. It's a reflection. How you communicate, how often you communicate, by which means you think communication should happen. It's all a reflection. Read. Did you finish?
Right.
Go ahead.
Bringing forth that which is evil, for of the abundance of the heart.
See, because it comes from the heart. It comes from your mind. It comes from how you've developed. And what you've developed yourself in. And did you let circumstances develop you? Or did you develop outside of the circumstance first? A lot of us allow circumstances. I'm a product of my environment. That's BS. No, you allowed yourself to be a product of your environment. Because, I grew up in the hood. I grew up gunshots, bodies, crack. I know what crack smell like. I know all that. I know all the hood games, right? But I didn't allow that to, and do I have some of that in me? Of course, I got the hood in me, right? Of course I got some hood in me. But do I lead with that? Like, yo, I got the hood in me. Nah. Where the hood at? No. I don't want that to be my calling card. Right? But I didn't allow that to develop my character as a whole. We all have product of where we come from in us. So it makes us us. Right? But at the same time, it shouldn't be the ultimate definition of you. Some of us come from some of the most deplorable circumstances. And you shouldn't want that to define you. You shouldn't want that to be where your mind is at and what developed you. Some of us were developed in some bad, harsh conditions, and then we had to undevelop those thoughts and then redevelop into a new man. That's what the scriptures say, right? When you come into Christ, you're a new creature, right? But I never wanted to be defined by the hood growing up. I never wanted to be defined as this type of person or not. I wanted to be defined as, I don't know, a smart kid. I don't know. But there was I remember growing up in New York. So growing up in New York, I didn't sound like a New Yorker. I didn't have like the thick, heavy New York. So I go play. They're like, "Where you from New York?" They're like, "You don't sound like a New Yorker." Yeah, because I pride myself on not sounding like that. Yo, son, and just talking crazy. Like, I actually prided myself on not sounding like that. I used to say, I remember I used to visit New York, and I remember I used to visit New York from Colorado. So imagine, I lived in Colorado, lived in New York, grew up in Jamaica, so I got these 3 different situations. So my speech ain't gonna be like from one place or another, right? I didn't develop in just one thing, I developed in 3 different places. So I have a different sounding speech, I use different words from different places. So I go to New York, and I talk like I'm from Colorado. They're like, I remember they would say, "Man, you always say dude." Say dude a lot. Now they use that word out there like it's nothing. They be like, "Dude, what up, dude? Dude." Like they adopted the word years later. The same word they were criticizing me on using because of where I lived at. It's now the same way they trying to talk.
Right.
Bro. Right? What's up, bro? Bro, like all those things were developed later, right? But I always prided myself on not being able for people not to be able to tell where I'm from. So that means I had to dress a little bit different. I couldn't do like the typical hood dress. I still rock Timbs and Air Force Ones and all that, but I just made sure that, you know what I'm saying? I kept it clean, a little bit more clean with it, a little bit more discreet with it. I didn't have to be flashy and let the pants sagging and extra triple X baggy jeans and all that. I did it, but it wasn't the definition of me, if y'all understand, right? Now, the one thing when it came to the music, niggas knew I was from New York because I was not listening to nothing but East Coast rap. Everything else was trash. That's it. They knew, oh, this nigga from New York. They pull up at the light, they look, hey, that nigga from New York. Because it's straight just New York rap. Everything else was not getting, it was no damn Zero getting played in the car, no Texas niggas. It was none of that. It was none of that. It was no Insane Clown Posse. It was no bad. What's the one? Not Insane Clown Posse. What's the one? South Park Mexican. It was none of that getting played. No Tech Nine.
That was racist.
None of that. If you got in my car, you couldn't touch the radio. You had to listen to what I'm listening to. It was like DMX all the time. Like, damn, that's all you did. DMX, Rough Riders, Lots. Hell yeah. Right? So that's what defined me. It was the music, David. Right? But hopefully y'all see the point. I know I'm making light, but you should never be able to go into a space and they be like, oh, see, he from the valley. He from the valley. He from the valley. He from there. She from there. No, I'm an Israelite. Especially now, it should be there. That's a man in Christ. That's what should define you. That's a man in Christ. Not a location, right? Because you move towards that character of that location. You're supposed to be moving towards the character of Christ. Or, oh, this person, oh, you must have grew up like a hoe. Because you're looking like one. Nah. Don't move towards that character, sis. Move towards like the character like Sarah, Rebecca, those comely women. Right? So it's the character that you move in. You can make that choice no matter what you grew up in. Everybody want to do the rose out of the concrete. I'm a rose in the concrete. But really, what are you then? You're fighting against your circumstances because roses don't grow out of the concrete. They don't just grow out of the cracks of the street. Roses need a specific soil to grow in, specific climates, right? Where we at? Wisdom of Solomon, read it, 1 and 4. You could drop where you at. Wisdom of Solomon, 1 and 4. I got 15 minutes.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 1 and verse 4.
Mm-hmm.
For into a malicious soul, wisdom shall not enter.
And that's the point. If there is a maliciousness, if there's a breach of character, the wisdom to develop you properly will not enter you. We got to understand that. Wisdom will not enter. Whatever part of the wisdom that you need to develop your character, it's not going to hit you. And you're going to be deficient. Right? You're going to have some type of deficiency. So the point is, we got to drop the maliciousness. We got to try to remove from our character. But guess what? Guess what removes these things from the character? Going through the trials, going through the processes, going through the going through the situations, willing to learn. Because we're all going to go through things and we may not understand right off, but you got to be at least willing to learn and say, you know what? I didn't go through that right. Let me change. Let me adopt this. Let me take the wisdom that this brother gives. Let me grab this wisdom that I didn't have before the situation. Let me grab this understanding. And then that's how you develop and you be able to remove the malice that a lot of us carry to where you can't develop outside of that. You just known as the malice person. Your name is Malice. Right? Next point. The unjust steward. And we just read it. Go back to Luke. Luke 16:10. The unjust steward. Read Luke 16:10. And then somebody go to 1 Samuel 17.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 10.
Right. So the unjust steward, right? It's a parable that Christ was dropping, right? I'm only dealing with Luke 16 and 10. Obviously, there's more to it. But again, I'm consolidating just for this class. Go ahead.
Luke chapter 16 and verse 10.
Go ahead.
He that is faithful and that which is least is faithful, also in much.
Right. And that's the character that you want to develop. That when somebody puts a little bit in front of you, you're going to be faithful with it. And then it don't matter how much they put in front of you. You're going to be faithful with it. That's the character that we're looking to develop. That it doesn't matter what I'm doing. I know I got to communicate. It doesn't matter what I got going on. It doesn't matter the circumstance. I got to make sure I'm communicating. For the soldiers, I got to make sure I'm reporting. It don't matter the circumstance. I know I got busy days. I got busy days too. Shit. The hell, who don't got busy days? But if I let my busy days determine my communication, guess what? I wouldn't even be here today. I got a house full of sick kids. My rib is sick too. So I'm busy. I got busyness. But I don't let that determine, okay, hey, Shaddai, what's going on? He don't let busy, hey, let me check in real quick. And then we understand, hey, we busy, I'm busy, you busy. If we got time, we'll sit on the phone for hours. If not, hey, look, let me handle this real quick. I know you got something to handle. Sometimes you got to kick me off the phone. Hey, brother, let me get back to it real quick. My bad. Right? Or, hey, let me get back to it real quick. Right? Because we understand that being busy it doesn't remove what we got to do as leaders. Right? We understand that circumstance, I got to go to work. That doesn't mean you neglect your children, neglect your house, neglect your family. Or all I do is deal with the family. That doesn't mean you neglect your studies. Or you neglect this or you neglect that. No, you got to figure out a way. Right? Where we at? Read on.
And he that is unjust in the least is unjust also in much.
You cannot escape that thought. You cannot escape that principle. And you'll be delusional to think that you can. And you may be able to escape. He brought it out earlier. You might do it. You might be on time for a week because you got that new job. But then circumstance is going to determine whether or not you continue to be on time. Because you operate off of circumstance and not off of character. Mm-hmm. That's the point. You operate off of circumstances and not off of principles. Because you didn't develop principles, you developed circumstance. Right? And that's why you will be the unjust steward compared to the just steward. Because he didn't let circumstances determine. Go to 1 Samuel. So I want to deal with, you can write David faithful in the field. David faithful in the field. 1 Samuel 17 and verse 34. You're going to read the 37.
Come.
Go ahead.
1 Samuel chapter
17 and 34.
1 Samuel chapter 17, verse 34.
Uh-huh.
And David said unto Saul,
Right?
thy servant kept his father's sheep.
Because remember, this is when Goliath pulls up. Who gonna slay Goliath? Well, David pops up. I got this. Let me know you got this. You a boy. Well, let me prove to you that I was able to handle this small thing. So this big guy, Goliath, no problem. Go ahead.
And there came a lion and a bear,
Right?
and took a lamb out of the flock.
Right. So something so insignificant as the flock, the sheep. Go ahead. Oh, there's another scripture that just hit me. Go ahead.
And I went out after him.
It's in Psalms. Find me the one that says it's something like that. It's like it's like Psalms. It's like 90s to the hundreds. It's in there in that pocket. Go ahead.
And I went out after him. I smote him and
Go ahead.
delivered it out of his mouth.
Come on.
And when he arose against me, I caught him by his beard
Right.
and smote him and slew him.
Yeah, because guess what? He could have just been like, it's just one sheep. You got it. You got it, lion. You got it, bear. We ain't really got time for that because I'm not going to put my life in danger for that. It's so insignificant. But see, this right here was his qualification for what? Slaying Goliath or something else?
Something else.
Oh, something way greater. This was his anointing. Hey, go get David. That's who I got. That's who I want. Most High was looking down like, yeah, that's that nigga. That, what do you say? We got him. Who's that, Drewski?
Yeah.
We got him. Most High was looking in heaven down at David like, looked around there, hey, we got him. That's him. You found me?
Psalm 78.
Oh, okay. Damn.
70 down.
I lied to you. I had you all the way in somewhere else. Psalm 78 and what? And one?
70,
Is it?
71, 72.
Psalm 78. Yep. Read verse 70.
Psalm chapter 78, verse 70.
This is it. Yep.
He
Read.
chose David.
When was David chose? In these small situations that seem insignificant, that nobody knew about. That nobody knew about. Nobody was there with a scribe writing down that David slew the lion and the bear. Guess what? Those situations would have went undocumented if David didn't speak up. Go ahead.
He chose David, also his servant,
Right?
and took him from the sheepfold.
From the what? See
Sheepfold.
that he was taken from the sheepfolds. That little shepherd boy. Go ahead.
From following the ooze. Great with the young, he brought him to feed Jacob, his people.
Because if you're responsible with sheep, you could be responsible with the people. That's how the Most High looked at it. That's how he qualified David. Read.
And Israel, his inheritance.
Yeah, think about the Most High giving a man his people to lead. But the nigga just losing everything. Can't keep up with nothing. Well, we got David that's going to fight for every single ewe and every single sheep. He ain't going to let not one of them get lost. So if he had that much faithfulness in the little, imagine if he becomes king. How many wars did David go out and fight? I need about 104 skins for this situation. I'm gonna bring you back 2. I'm gonna double it. Need these Philistines wiped out. I'm gonna wipe them to the ends of the earth. I ain't gonna stop. But I'm also not gonna go too far outside of your command. You ready? Should I get them? Go get them. Should I fall back? Fall back for a moment. He showed his faithfulness in the small, in the little, right? Go ahead.
So he fed them according
Uh-huh.
to the integrity.
Wait, what?
He
He
fed,
fed them because he had riches.
according to the integrity.
No, he fed them because when he became king, he got the spoils.
According to the
See
integrity.
that? A good man out of a good treasure. Right back. You see that? He was able to feed them with integrity because David was integral first before he became king.
Yeah.
Because he had integrity before he had the kingdom. because he had integrity before he had money. Because he had integrity before he had riches. Because he had integrity before he had stature. That was his qualification for any blessing. That was his qualification for being faithful in the what does it say, least and most?
Faithful and least.
Well, for him to get, what is it? It says least most. What word does he use? Faithful also in much. The much. Slakia, the much. That was his qualification for the much. Let's slide to the next person. Got 5 minutes. So you could drop that. Let's go to Joseph. Faithful in bondage. Right? I picked the most prominent stories that we could have went through. There's many more stories that we could go through. If we start sifting through Kings, we could see brothers being faithful in these small situations to bring forth big situations. We could see Elisha, Elijah, right? We could see the prophets, right? We could see it. We could see men being unfaithful in small things, and then that developing in a snowball effect of negative, right? We see Eli's sons being unfaithful in just their duty as priests, as being that example, and that snowballing into them laying down with doing adultery, committing adultery, and damn, just profaning the priest office.
Hey, baby girl, you want a blessing?
Yeah, you want a prayer? You want some healing?
Damn.
They might as well just float it across the altar with strings like Drewski. That's hilarious. That Drewski skit. Yo, that nigga had me when he said, I'm gonna impregnate you with the word of God. I said, goddamn, dog, we got him. I'm gonna say this: you can't laugh at that and not laugh at the one he did with the Israelites.
Yep.
You can't be biased. I laughed at both because they was both funny as hell. All right, and he ain't mocking God; he mocking silly niggas. But like, oh, he's mocking God. No, he's not. No, he's mocking the way niggas just do weird stuff. Like we had the Israelite when they was walking around the light post. That right there had me. They was marching around the light. Anyway, y'all you see, y'all biased. Genesis.
That's blasphemy.
Just blasphemy. Take his ring, right? Genesis 39 and verse 2. Let's read that.
Genesis chapter 39 and verse
We're
2.
gonna read the verse 4. Go ahead.
And the Lord was with Joseph,
Right.
and he was a prosperous man,
Right.
and he was in the house of his master, the Egyptian.
Yeah. Now remember, he's a captive. He's been taken as a captive. He's a slave. But it said that he was a prosperous man. He ain't got no stature. He ain't got no title. Nigga's servant. Servant and captive is his title. But he's prospering somehow. Because he didn't let circumstance define character. Because we know what happens here, where Potiphar's wife tries to do what? You young and handsome.
Yeah,
You
trying
about
to
to
get
give me
him.
some of that back. And he was like, hell no, I'm not. I'm running. Right? He ran off. Ain't no adultery on my jacket. Come on.
And his master saw that the Lord was with him, and that the Lord made all that he did to prosper in his hand. And Joseph found grace in his sight, and he served him, and he made him overseer over his house, and all that he had he put into his
See
hand.
that? Just from being diligent in a low estate. Jump to verse 21. You're going to read to verse 23.
Verse 21. But the Lord was with Joseph and showed him mercy and gave him favor in the sight of the keeper of the prison.
See that? Now he's in prison. But he's getting favor in the sight of these men. Why? Because character. He wasn't in there bullying niggas like, I'm about to walk into jail and just beat the biggest nigga up I see. I'm going to walk in jail. I'm going to make sure that they know what set I'm from, cuz. Nah, he walked in there with humility. Right? Not putting himself on the pedestal, but still gaining it. Go ahead.
Verse 22. And the keeper of the prison committed to Joseph's hand all the prisoners that were in the prison.
And now you the trustee over everybody.
Yeah.
You the trustee over all. You got the white on. Everybody else got the orange. Right? He got the white jumpsuit.
Right.
Go ahead.
and whatsoever they did there, he was the doer of it.
Read on.
The keeper of the prison looked not to anything that was under his hand, because the Lord was with him, and that which he did, the Lord made it to prosper.
Why? Because his integrity.
Yep.
Why? Because he was integral before he had a position. Right? So I got a few more real quick. Go to let's see here. Go to what do I want? Oh yeah, go to Ecclesiasticus 19:1. I want you to read it for me. I got it in the common English Bible.
Come.
I want you to read it. Read Ecclesiasticus 19:1.
Ecclesiasticus.
He's gonna read. No, you let him read. Then you're gonna come back and read it in
Okay.
a different translation.
Ecclesiastes chapter 19, verse 1.
Uh-huh.
A laboring man that is given to drunkenness shall not be rich.
Right. So this is a character. This is a characteristic. Right. You have laboring men that'll give themselves to drunkenness. Then you have laboring men that'll give themselves to more wholesome activities. Go ahead.
And he that contemneth small things
Right.
shall fall by little and little.
Right. So read that for me, Shatak.
Ecclesiasticus, or Sirach,
Yep.
chapter 19, verse 1, in the CEB.
Common English Bible. Go ahead.
A drunken worker won't become rich, and whoever neglects the little things will fail little by little.
Yeah, you see that? If you neglect the little things, you're gonna fall little by those little things. They always say the devil's in the details. You're gonna die by the details. Damn, I missed that. But you keep missing small things, you're gonna miss out on big opportunities because small things add up. Small character flaws add up to big flaws. Right?
Yeah.
That damn serial killer didn't just start serial killing. Nah. He was doing things like killing animals, right? Catching animals and killing them. Doing little weird small. You ever watch Dexter? Dexter they had him killing damn animals at first, right? To hone his talents.
Yeah.
That's what he called it. But he was killing animals and cats. And then what? He developed into a full-blown serial killer when he became of age, cutting niggas up
Yeah.
and throwing them inside the damn South Beach. Like, what the hell? But he had to develop small things. So what I'm showing you is that a character is developed through small inconsistencies negatively, or a character is developed positively through small gradual steps that are careful, right? But if you're not paying attention, you'll fall by the small things. Just like how the small things can get you to where you want to be, those same small things can drop you down. Right? Go to Ecclesiastes. Ecclesiastes is 5:15. And Proverbs 27 and verse 23. Ecclesiastes 5:15.
Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verse 13.
Right?
Be not ignorant of anything in a great matter or a small.
And that's the point. We shouldn't be ignorant of anything. Great matter or small. We should know the ins and outs of both the small things and the big things. And how they work in combination with one another. And what to remove. And what to add. We shouldn't be ignorant. Oh, I didn't see that. Well, did you read it? It's right there. Did you read that? Oh, I didn't know that was happening. Did you read it? It's right there. No, I missed that. How'd you miss it? Did you just skim over it? Did you purposely not see it? What's the inconsistency? How did you miss what everybody else saw?
Right.
And then you'll understand you're missing what everybody else is seeing, and that's why you can't get where everyone else is. It's that simple. Go from there, go to Proverbs 27 and verse 23.
27 and verse 23.
Right?
Be thou diligent to know the state of thy flock.
Come on.
And look well.
And what?
And look well.
Do what?
Look well.
You gotta look. That's the point. You gotta get off your ass and go look at the flock. Right? Like when a herdsman has the flock, though, he gotta get out there with them. Yeah, he gotta look at I got 100 sheep. Well, you know what? 50 of them niggas is sick. Well, did you go check the other 50? Well, no, because the 50 are sick and the other 50 are sick too. Well, did you go check? No. I don't got to. You cutting corners. You should go out there and be diligent to know the estate. I got 50 sick, I got 50 not sick. Let me separate them. Boom. That way I'm not treating 50 not sick animals as sick and vice versa. Right? Or, oh, there's one sick, you know, the other ones will be okay, but they all look like they dying. What you mean? They'll be okay. He's infecting. No, it's fine. Because you cutting corners, you don't have time to go out there and look and to check the estate of the flock, the estate, how they are, how they're being, and that's the flock. That's shit. The truck. That's the mall cart. The cart. How is the estate of the cart? How is the estate of the truck? How is the estate of this? How is your mind in entering business? How is this brother? How's this sister? How's the estate of your home? All these things have to be taken into account. Gone? All right. Any questions on that? We're gonna end it there on classes. Any questions on the class? Quick and light, none too hard. Right? Quick and light, something for everybody. Quick and light. It's all love, no questions. Remember, as we wait, Passover garment money, get that in. I know Lasha Bar been sliding some bread my way, so I should not. Listen, I'm gonna say this about the $250 that we ask for every year. And I forgot to say this. If you can't give the $250 and you want to come to the Passover, bring your ass. That's how I'm gonna say it. Bring your ass. Like, don't make an excuse. Don't make an excuse like, oh well, I ain't got the money. They're not gonna accept me. We've never done that to nobody. Nope. We've never made it about something so trivial like money, right? Because we're faithful in the small things, we're gonna be faithful in the big thing. What's more important? The money or the brotherhood? The money or you keeping the law? Because first of all, it's the law first. The law says to keep the Passover. What's more important? The money or damn pleasing the Most High? Pleasing the Most High. So if you ain't got the $250, it's whatever you can help out with. If you can't help out with nothing and you can make it. Dinner on us. Big deal. Dinner on us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean,
Hey.
least done into the brother, least done into me.
Yeah. You fed me, you clothed me, you did this, you did that. When did we do that? When you did it to one of the brethren. Right? So we don't get caught up in all that. Like you ain't got it, so you can't participate. We've never done that. And if we have, we've only done that in small little examples to show an example. To point out certain things. But we've never shut nobody off at the door. Oh, where's your $250? We ain't checking receipts at the door, my nigga. Like, oh, let me see.
Where's your ticket?
Where's your Cash App at? Let me see your Cash App receipt to make sure you can enter. Nope, no entrada for you because you didn't. Nah, we don't do that. So, you know why I gotta say it like that? Because some of y'all play games with yourself, and you'll make it a game like, well, you know, the brothers they gonna look at me funny. Nigga, we always look at you funny.
You look funny.
I'm always looking at y'all funny because you look funny. Now I'm playing. We're not gonna look at you funny because you weren't able to contribute in that way, right? But if you can, help out and help out with whatever you can. If you could throw a little extra on it for those that can't contribute, that's why we ask for brothers and sisters to throw a little extra if they can.
Question.
So we asking 250, but if you ain't got the 250, if you got 300, throw the 3. That way somebody else may not be able to have, and they can slide. What's up?
What would be the color theme for the Passover this year?
They're gonna send it out. Just be patient. It's the colors are. See, I'm gonna say the wrong colors. I know there's red in there.
Red, black, and silver.
Oh damn, we got a garment sister. Red, black, and silver. But they're gonna send out like what this sister wears, and they're still working on that part, right? But you know, once they get every single aspect down, then we'll make sure we communicate it early and often through class. I'll actually change the description of the videos to make sure that it reflects whatever changes. What else? I actually got to do that for garments and Passover. I got to do that. What else? Anything else?
That's it.
For the teaching. Right, Con. Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get everybody sorted out because we want everybody to, we want everybody to feel welcome. So we don't want to leave nobody out. Right colors and who wears what. We're gonna let y'all know. All right. Other than that, the water for joining us, the water for joining the class, for participating. I think San Antonio's still going. Tomorrow is gonna be Zion. Tomorrow, probably not. Make sure y'all set up some prayers for Zion and his rib. They about to bring forth the new little child. Rakadaya how about Shimmy Shai. So make sure y'all set up some prayers for Zion and Kalaya, right? And just set up prayers for everybody, man. We got a lot of sick kids out here in Houston. It's running 28 days later, right? Yeah, it's like that. They got a new movie coming out, dude. A new 28 Days movie coming out.
So they
28 years.
No, it's another one. I just see like the preview for it. Yeah, I think it is 28 years later, but it's like some other bone thing. Yeah. Anyway. So make sure y'all set up y'all's prayers for us. And yeah, Friday is Kazakh VA. Saturday is gonna be, if Zion ain't predisposed on baby duty, changing diapers. It's probably gonna be Zion again. So, all right. With that, we're gonna say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom.